All right, guys, back on it again. So the previous video where I talk about the fuel when person they ask about fuel if you finish for aeroplane, have you? And you get the number, you get some fuel then why I don't list for now why I say I go talk am for the next video. And the video to this. Oh yeah, bring your jotter, open and wide, carry your pen, start to take notes. Now, what do they call that thing where I talk about now? Wetin fuel planning. Aviation, fuel planning they call it. Good. Now that fuel planning, all these fuel what I mentioned, now I want break down for now. Because now all of them, now in the aeroplane go carry from point A to point B where it they go fly. Origin to destination where it they go. The first one what I mentioned for there now Wetin, taxi fuel. Taxi fuel, remember, any movement where aeroplane they do for ground, Wetin they call am na Wetin taxi. Apart from the takeoff run, the one where you go take on or be on top the runway run before you take off. All those other movements from the place where on board the aeroplane till they come out, they move till they enter the runway. A taxi be that. So the fuel where you go use do that taxi, they don't factor them in for the flight plan where they do for us. So it depends on the size of the airport, kind of traffic where they get for the airport, and if maybe the runway where una park long well. Then again, the size of the aircraft. If we aeroplane wey get small engine take taxi, and the fuel where aeroplane wey get big engine take taxi no be the same quantity. So based on the performance of the aeroplane, they go determine say okay, per hour wetin this aeroplane go burn to taxi and maybe 1,000 kilogram. They go now factor am in. Say taxi fuel 1,000 kilogram. They put them down. That is wetin they call wetin taxi fuel. And you go put into account maybe if na cold weather operation they do. Cold weather operation na for those people wey snow dey fall, them ice then they fall. Wey be say they go one place, go park, they go do the icing and the anti-icing. So all those time wey you go take to do all those things, they factor all of them inside that 1,000 kilograms where they go record for the flight plan as taxi fuel. That one by the side. The next one where they follow and are waiting, trip fuel. Trip fuel. Now the fuel where the aeroplane go burn from takeoff. Once he start, he dey on top runway, begin take off. Once he add that power, at the trip fuel, now he begin read from that time. From takeoff till he touch down again, and he trip fuel. So all the distance, all the routing where you go plan, you go fly per till where you start from, which way you dey go. All the fuel where you go consume for that one, na im dey under wetin trip fuel. So if na 5,000 kilograms, so if na 10,000 kilograms, so depending on the things dem wey dey constitute wetin they use to calculate this trip fuel, na the altitude where the aeroplane go fly, the temperature, the weight of the aeroplane, the wetin again, the wind, the direction of the wind, them. All those they go factor them, because for that flight plan as well, they go still put weather at each point, at each altitude. Now all of them they go factor together on supply the trip fuel. So trip fuel, let's say now waiting, let's say trip fuel now to from point A to point B, now waiting now 5,000. So 5,000. When I remember say we don't talk about taxi fuel. That taxi fuel we say before now 1,000. Abi, so taxi fuel 1,000 kilogram, trip fuel 5,000 kilogram. We don't get 6,000. The next one, before I forget, for that taxi fuel, as the aeroplane land for the point B where they go, it go still tax you go in parking gate. That taxi wey you go still do for your destination, they still factor am in for that 1,000. If you go pass, you go add am. But for the sake of this video, you say 1,000. So 1,000 for taxi. 3, 5,000. So the next one now, wey we go talk about, na the one wey be say e dey related to wetin dey talk for Bible for those people wey dey go church. You know say when you earn your monthly salary, you go say make you do wetin, make you bring tithe come. That tithe wey you go bring come for church na 10%, abi? But for this one now, for aeroplane, for fuel get tithing join. So the tithing for fuel na 5% na im dey. So wetin we dey call this fuel wey I dey talk about now na im be contingency fuel. So that 5% wey I just mention na 5% of the entire trip fuel. Remember, the trip fuel na the one wey from takeoff to landing. Na the way wey dey take calculate am. So we go now check if, like we don mention say our trip fuel na 5,000. So 5% of 5,000 na im we go now calculate, come use am as our contingency fuel. Wetin this contingency be? This contingency na maybe the aeroplane we dey fly now, like our example we don talk, say we dey fly from Lagos go Abuja, and we go fly overhead. So we take off from Lagos, we go pass Ibadan, then dey move dey go. Now we come be say as we take off from Lagos, before we get to Ibadan, wey be say Ibadan dey somewhere here now, and we dey around here, come be say ATC now tell us say okay, because of traffic wey dey around the area, say make we maintain 10,000 feet. That 10,000 feet go be wetin we suppose dey around this area before we get to Ibadan. The contingency fuel na here now e dey come into play. So that 10,000 feet wey we maintain, remember, the lower the altitude, the more fuel wey we go burn. The higher the altitude, the less fuel wey we go burn. So that area wey we maintain 10,000 fuel, that more fuel wey we dey burn at that area, the contingency fuel na im dey cover for am, because they no plan am for the flying for the trip fuel. That is one. Another condition we fit make that one, we fit account for the contingency fuel na wetin? Weather. You see we dey dodge weather or something, those ones they no plan am. We didn't do that our flight routes wey be say e dey accounted for the trip fuel. So all these other diversion wey we dey dodge weather and all that, the extra fuel wey we dey burn na under contingency fuel, all of them dey. Then maybe e come be say we dey approach the airport, they come say okay, say e get delay or something, maybe airport no dey open or something for us, so we come decide to just dey delay small, slow down our speed, and then maybe pick up a hold. All of them dey inside that contingency fuel. So na wetin that one dey account for. Remember, I talk say na wetin? Na 5% of trip fuel, the entire trip fuel for the movement, na im be that contingency fuel. So na so they take plan am. So for that one now, let's say 10% of 5,000 na wetin? Na 500. We can divide am by another 2, it will come be 250. So 250 wetin they call am? Liters, kilograms, sorry, 250 kilograms of fuel. Na im go be that one. We add am to our distance. So we don get 250 kilograms. So if we add am to the taxi fuel and the trip fuel, we don get 6,250. The next fuel wey we must carry to move from point A to point B na wetin? Alternate fuel. Wetin be this alternate fuel? Alternate fuel na say we dey fly from Lagos dey go Abuja now. We must get wetin we dey call alternate. They must plan us so that we go get alternate. That alternate be say we dey come into Abuja, they come say say one thing happen, they close Abuja airport, or maybe weather dey, the rain dey fall too much for there, we no fit wait, we go get alternate. Most times for us wey dey fly for Nigeria, our alternate dey always be either Kano or Enugu. If na daytime we use Enugu, if na night time most times we use Kano. So they are the two closest airports within that Abuja region. The same way other airports, then they maybe if you dey go Port Harcourt, if you use Owerri as your alternate, if you go, it's a must that you must plan for your alternate. All right. So the fuel, this alternate fuel, now the fuel will be say from the point of your missed approach. This one another big grammar again. That missed approach now another point be, but from that missed approach point till you missed approach now that one wey be say the aeroplane they come to land though, e come carry himself dey go up again. Some people they always dey fear for this one. This one another video where they enlighten on about this approach. Make you understand that say no be something hell never let loose. Na still normal thing for to fly. So from that missed approach point till the aeroplane come miss approach, e come continue that journey, dey go in alternate wey be Enugu or Kano as the case may be. You go calculate the fuel wey you go the aeroplane go burn from that missed approach point to that alternate point. You go add am to the Wetin, to the fuel wey the aeroplane go carry. So let's say na 2,000 kilograms na im dey go use for the alternate. You put am for 2,000. All right, that is it. So another fuel wey must dey for inside the tank before that plane dey comot from anywhere wey e dey. Na wetin dey call wetin? Final reserve fuel. That final reserve fuel na wetin? Na the fuel wey be say in case the other calculations dem wey the fuel dem wey we don carry, God wants them, we don't use am finish. Remember our alternate still. Then we come dey approach the airport where we go land, our destination airport. In this case now, Abuja na im we use abi. We come see say they close the airport, or maybe they wetin they call am? They say maybe there is VIP movement, or maybe weather day or something like that. They make good for Abuja, we no fit land. As we no fit land, we come look around, look for the side where we say weather no too affect. We go there, we go pick up hold. That hold na the one where we go just dey one place, just dey turn around. You know, so that one, the fuel where we go burn that time, na im be the final reserve fuel. So the calculation for that one, they calculate am based on the fuel where the aeroplane go fit burn for the destination airport at 1,500 feet above the airport. Now the fuel, so they will calculate them based on the weight and the speed where the aircraft they get at that altitude. Now in they go use calculate the fuel burn where you go burn for 30 minutes. If na small aeroplane, they fit calculate and reach like 45 minutes. But for big aeroplane like jets, them and all that, they will calculate them for 30 minutes of that the fuel where they go burn at that altitude at holding speed. Come get the figure, the value. If they get the value, they go now add them to the fuel planning where they do. So let's take them again. Say this one now 1,000. Now we go burn for that kind altitude, for that 1,500 feet for 30 minutes. 1,000. So we don't get for alternate 2,000, get for final reserve 1,000. Our figure now don't be waiting. We don't get like 9,250. Now the final one, or the last one, are the one where they call fixed reserve fuel. That fixed reserve fuel, now the one where we say, no matter as the matter take be, nothing will happen make that fuel, or make the fuel where they inside the aeroplane go below that figure. So let's say they pack the aeroplane for 1 whole month, 2 months, 3 months, that fuel will remain inside that tank. Wetin the fuel they do? The fuel they help, they sustain the life of the fuel pumps then wey dey inside the fuel tank. Let's say now we don dey fly dey go, e come be say from Lagos to Abuja where we dey go, we don use our alternate fuel, use our contingency, use final reserve. We don't chop everything, use taxi, use trip. Now wetin remain na that final reserve. Before e reach that level, the pilots dem suppose know say no be dem dey fly the aeroplane again, na the aeroplane dey fly them. You know, so some persons for the comment section before they say you get some incidents and crash wey don happen, you know, like this thing there. Some of the crashes dey wey fuel do this thing finish. Some of them come dey talk say but you don't get the one wey don happen before. These are yes, those ones don happen before. But if you check the root cause of all those ones wey happen for those crash, you go understand. See, you go understand the place where the water from enter the coconut wey dey for up. You get? So that's why I say e no dey possible. So for this our fixed reserve fuel, manufacturers themselves na dem dey even dey put the number, the quantity wey e go be, so that know how wey e be wey be say the crew then they go fly reach say the fuel pump wey dey inside the tank wey dey inside one sump like that, wey go dey pump the fuel dey put inside the engine. Fuel no suppose go below the fuel pump. If you go below the fuel pump, na im be say fuel pump don dey work, just e dey pump air, and if that one happen, e go spoil the fuel pump. So they don put am like that, say make this fuel, no matter wetin e be, say you don fly take off reach your alternate, e no good, you come say make you divert go your alternate. You reach your destination, you no good, you come say make you divert go your alternate. You reach your alternate, you come land or dodge all the weather, do everything, burn your trip, taxi, contingency, alternate, final reserve, and you wan kuku chop enter inside fixed reserve. No say that one water don pass garri be that. All right, so on no account the crew go allow their fuel to go low below that amount. So for this one now, let's say na 1,000 again, we come put on 1,000. So the total wey we don get now na 10,250 kilograms of fuel. Now we go carry from Lagos go where Abuja. This entire fuel now wey we carry now, e get another one wey they call ramp fuel. That ramp fuel now it be the total of all this our fuel wey we calculate now. You know what they mean by the ramp fuel? Ramp fuel, ramp na that place where the aeroplane they park, that place where passengers they board, they disembark. All right, so this fuel must be inside the aeroplane on ground when they board the aeroplane. This entire fuel now when we calculate this 10,250 kilograms, it must be inside. All right, so now it be the ramp fuel. So it's just like the total, the summation of all the fuel now when we carry on board for this our trip. Now it be ramp fuel. All right, and waiting we they call this whole grammar when we don't speak now. And the fuel planning and the fuel policy. Anyhow, any grammar way company or any airline call their own. Some they call them fuel planning, some call them fuel policy. Right? So it depends. But make una know the feel say plane go fall from this one. Some persons also they say okay, like the ones the way the incidents the way don't happen and the accidents they don't happen in the past, where they always they talk for the comment section. So many redundancies don't dey for modern days aeroplane now. When we say no be only for fuel gauge, we dey see the amount of fuel wey we carry. We still dey see am for wetin they call FMS or FMC. E dey there. So as your fuel dey read, they go. Let's say the gauge spoil, we still get am for the FMS where they give us the value wey remain for inside the fuel tank. All right. So make una know say once una pay for una flight enter aeroplane, relax. Enjoy your movements. Nothing they happen for a day. All right. If you now reach, they go divert. Diversion no be anything. That's still part of flying, and now for the interest of waiting safety. So make una know the fear. Some people once they don't tell them say, we are diverting to so place, our alternate fear don't enter their body. I say, hell we let loose. Nothing they happen. A normal thing. Why did they divert? They say the fuel where they carry. e don dey go low. Abi una wan make dey remain for where dem dey, na must say they go land for that place? No be must. If situations call as they go divert go their alternate, they go divert go their alternate, go there, go sit down. If na rain dey fall, if rain clear, you go just carry fuel again. Everybody they go close doors, start engine, una go come back on land for una destination. Some person go tell me say their spiritual director, their pastor, their reverend father don tell them say make they no enter that plane again. Say God don save them for the first time, make they no try God this second time. Hey, we dey go church well oh, e dey happen steady. So sometimes whenever it dey happen for my own flight, I go just tell them, I dey first dey do the announcement, tell my passengers themselves. So before you dey call your pastor, I don first tell you. Some of them now shame go catch them, they no go gree do wetin their pastor tell them. Anyways, that is it for it all, guys. If you get any further question, drop them under the comment section so that if I see them, I go see come update you now on how the matter dey take be. I still love you, Captain Callistus, always. Cheers, guys.